So what's going on, Trucketeers? It's the Truck Guy here. Wanted to get back to you with another video. And today we're reviewing the Stanley Folding Utility Knife model number 10-855. So I picked this up on Amazon and you guys are going to be a little bit surprised. It was $16.17. So it is going to set you back a little bit, but this is one of the more unique Stanleys that I've encountered, so I definitely wanted to pick it up and review it for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into the review, and let's do it. Alright guys, so the 10855, as you can see by the packaging, we've got Stanley, and we're pretty big fans of Stanley. We definitely like Milwaukee. You know, Husky, they put out some good knives. I just reviewed the Knipex knife. Definitely check that out if you haven't. And we've got all sorts of utility knives on the channel. But, you know, the question is, do we like DeWalt? You guys, if you've been around the channel a while, you'll know the answer to that one. So, let's get back to Stanley. They produce a lot of good utility knives and have really probably the best selection of any, you know, brand out there. They are really synonymous with utility knives. They're hooking us up with one blade on the 855, so definitely liking that. We've got that on back, and, you know, really not a lot happening here with the packaging. So, with that said, let's get it out of the packaging and see what we think. So we've got it out there, and they've actually hooked us up with a blade and a little bit of a protector. So let's actually break out the Knipex. Definitely check out this review if you haven't yet, and we'll go ahead and open our Stanley blade. It's not very often you see them in kind of the separate packaging, but that's something that probably Stanley does more than anyone, just with some of their more unique knives, you know, with kind of less intensive of packaging. They've got that kind of setup, but it's neither here nor there. So we've got our one blade, and let's go ahead and fold it up first. So overall, folded up, it feels really compact in the hand. This is one of the more compact Stanleys I've seen, if not the most compact Stanley. I don't know if I've seen anything like this. Definitely a cool knife. It is dinged up here and there. I attribute that to Amazon. No hard feelings with Amazon. It's just these get jostled around, banged around, things of that nature. So overall, very compact, definitely on the lighter side, but feels good in the hand and feels nice and durable. So we'll go ahead and get the blade holder extended. So that also feels good in the hand. You know, I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing and feeling from Stanley on this knife. There's really no wiggle or no wobble, you know, with the blade holder up top. So that's nice, and it's got a pretty good, you know, place for your thumb to sit, which I'm really liking, as well as a fair degree of comfort for your fingers to wrap around the knife. You can also have your index finger kind of under the blade holder on front. So definitely a pretty good overall design from Stanley. But kind of one of the more interesting things is the quick change, and they actually have the directions posted right here on the blade holder of the knife. I'm not sure if you can see that, but this is actually the quick change or the quick release. You just press down this button and the mechanism shifts up, allows you to slide your blade in. You you know, release the button, make sure you're locked in, and that's how you get the blade in. That is really easy. I'm really liking that quick change from Stanley, you know, or quick release. We'll go with their terminology, but that's really smooth. and it seems to hold it in well. You've got a little bit of wiggle and wobble, but that's, again, if you're familiar with the channel, that's to be expected with a lot of quick changes. It's pretty much customary in the industry, but all you do, press that button down, slide out, slide back in, release the button, pull the blade out just to make sure you're locked, and you're ready to go. So I may make a bit of a bold assertion here. That may be the easiest quick change that we've ever encountered on this channel, and that could be the easiest by far. I mean, that mechanism is infallible. That's an incredible mechanism by Stanley. I'm actually a little surprised they don't use that more, and this is not more common in the industry, because I've never seen a quick change button like this, where you press it down, that blade flies out, flies back in. There's not much resistance here. Keep that in mind. So if you struggle with quick change, you're really going to like this knife because there's not much resistance. You can still see the mechanism is elevated here. Pull that blade out just a little bit, and now you're locked in. You're ready to go. So I'm absolutely loving that. Then you've got your liner lock on the inside here, as you can see. You've got some grooves on the liner lock. Push that over, and you can close up your knife. And it's not going to lock down, so keep that in mind. It's not going to lock down, but there is a fair amount of resistance on that. It's not going to fly open on you. I don't know if you'll be... Well, you can flick it too, so that makes it a little bit more fun. I was going to say it might not be able to flick, but kind of the fun thing about this Stanley is you've also got, almost what's tantamount to a button lock. This is all of a sudden rivaling the Milwaukee, so I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from Stanley. Obviously this button also doubles as a thumb stud. So, I mean, that's just incredible. You've got a thumb stud, you've got a liner lock to make sure you're really protected, and that's a strong liner lock. You can see how far that comes over on the blade holder. I mean, that's locked, and you have no wiggle, no wobble, which is pretty incredible. You can throw that liner lock to the side. You've got the compact knife, and then that rockets open with the flick. So a lot of knives, really aren't loose enough up front to be able to flick like that. And a lot of them, frankly, are more of kind of a sporty knife blade. So to be able to flick open a utility knife and have it lock like that every time, a lot of times you'll catch it on the top and it'll fly back. But once it's at full extension, that liner lock really holds it well. So I'm really surprised that this is not one of, the more popular Stanleys, because I haven't seen this at Home Depot. I haven't seen this on Menards. It's kind of an obscure knife on Amazon. So the 855 is quickly becoming, one of my top knives. In terms of other features, you've got a really stiff belt clip and a small lanyard loop on back. You could throw it in there if you wanted to. It might interfere a bit with the opening mechanism. And no blade storage. So again, this is kind of a one blade in, one blade out type of knife. But I think it's going to suit, most guys well. Obviously, you can flip around that blade once, so you've really got two at your disposal, and then it's really going to come down to, if you're going at it with heavy usage, you might want to have some, additional blades on you. But keep in mind, guys, this is very, very compact. So I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here from Stanley. I would say the, closest comparison you've got on the Stanley side, and let me grab it here. The closest you've probably got on the Stanley side is this little yellow guy. I'll link it up above if you want to check it out. This one, you can't flick open. The quick change, still a very smooth quick change, but isn't the best necessarily compared to this guy, the 855, and it just doesn't feel as good in the hand. Maybe it's a touch more compact. But overall, I'm loving the 855. I think, you know, this is the cream of the crop for Stanley compact knives. You're really going to like this. I would say go pick it up for 16, 17. You know, this is an absolute gem to pick up. I'm loving what Stanley did here. I would say this is rising quickly to the top of the list for my compact knives. So definitely check it out. If you like the video, please like the video and please subscribe. And as always, we'll talk to you on the next one.